Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching, and please like, share, comment and subscribe if you're on my YouTube channel. Now we're talking about Generation X versus Generation Z. Now Generation X is of course anyone born between the 1960s to about the 1980s or thereabouts. Generation Z are the teenage kids of today. I think one major difference between Generation X and Generation Z is that Generation X, in most cases, have an extremely thick skin. Very thick skin. And insults just wash off of us so easily. However, Generation Z or Z, which I sometimes like to call the snowflake generation. Sorry guys, but they can often have very thin skin, and they do take some comments so personally or to heart. Wouldn't it just be great if you could hear criticism on an almost daily basis and simply brush it off? Having a thick skin allows you to continue on with your work and life without worrying what other people have to say, as you are comfortable in your own skin. Having a thick skin is a positive character trait. There is a measure of self-reliance around people who have developed a lovely thick skin, or a thick-skinned personality, I would call it. They're not put off by the ups and downs of life, as they know that your words or actions can't touch them. Why should it? Why should we be bothered? In this post, I'm going to look at what it means to have a very thick skin and the difference between a thick skin versus a thin skin. And I'll end on my 5 tips on how to grow a thick skin so you can increase your mental toughness and generally become more successful in work and in life generally. Definition of a thick skin. Now, a thick skin is if someone is said to have very much a lot of tolerance for insults or abuse. I don't mean physical, domestic abuse. I mean they're able to keep themselves from getting upset about things easily. They don't get easily offended or disturbed by any criticisms about them or any ill behavior towards themselves or those people they love or care about. Now, while some people are born with a thick-skinned personality generally, most of us, of course, have to learn how to develop this thick skin over time. Now, if you've ever been the victim of a character assassination, you know how important it is that you don't let every little criticism affect you. So we're talking about thick skin versus thin skin. Having a thick skin versus a thin skin. It is essential, especially if you work in a field in which criticism is a common occurrence, or like in a school where you can constantly be bullied. You have to know how to deal with such people. For example, if someone insults you, maybe by your haircut or something, just look at them and say, oh, you know what? I actually thought of the same thing about your haircut. We must be psychic, and turn away, So how to grow a thick skin now? Learning how to grow a thick skin is one of the most important things you can do for your career if you want to, or already do, work in a field that, as discussed before, is ripe for providing criticism at every turn. While being thin-skinned, it isn't the end of the world. It does mean that experiencing criticism is harder for you than for those who have developed a thicker skin. Have you ever put yourself out there at school, work, or even at a family gathering, and having felt an air of disapproval at the end of a certain experience, and then you've dwelled on this feeling for so many days afterwards. If you have, you could really benefit from growing a thicker skin. Now, for anyone who does not have a thick skin, including a lot of people in Generation Z, because we know a lot of us in Generation X, we really couldn't give a flying whatever, you know. Here are 5 tips on how to grow a thick skin. Now listen carefully, Generation Z especially. Don't take criticism to heart. Whether you're being criticized in the workplace or at home, don't take it to heart. While some people enjoy criticizing others just because they can, remember that in most cases, the criticism is an opportunity for you to learn from what is being said. Remember, knowledge is power, and grow as a result of it. Number 2 tip, I'll give you 5 tips. Assume that people are having a bad day. I read once that whenever a baby cries, we instinctively assume that they're feeling a certain emotion, often hunger or tiredness. One way to build a thick skin is to assume that anyone you're interacting with on a daily basis, from minute to minute, from hour to hour, is having a very bad day, and taking their words, every word, with a grain of salt, a pinch of salt. Number 3 tip for growing a thick skin. Don't take rejection personally. Rejection. A lot of younger men can't take rejection, and women. And you know what that ends up in sometimes? Violence for no reason. You didn't get through to the next round in a job interview? Oh well. Someone ghosts you after one date? It's their loss, honey boo. Learning how to toughen up and not take rejection personally would change your whole outlook on life for the better. Number 4 tip. Whenever you hear no, or imagine you hear no, but you didn't do this, no, but. Following on from the last tip, whenever you're rejected from a job interview, project, request, or anything else in which you were excited to potentially be a part of, consider the rejection as a way to pivot and move forward in another direction. That means it wasn't for you. You know, God has a way of directing you in the right path. Number 5 tip, put it into all your perspectives. Life is too short to feel slighted at every turn. It takes too much energy to deal with every negative comment. When you grow a thick skin, you quickly realize how much stuff you were taking to heart before, how much time you were wasting afterwards thinking about it, and how much of it was entirely unnecessary anyway from the person giving it and you from reacting to it. Don't worry, be happy, and the rest will take care of itself. Well, I hope this has helped in some way, and you can add to the discussion in the comment section in case there's anything I have missed. But Generation Z, please look up to Generation X. You see what we're like, 80s people, 60s, 80s. We enjoy our life. Yeah, probably still go discos, I don't know. We do what we want to do. And a lot of you have been asking, where has Generation X been? Where have they? We're enjoying our lives. We're traveling, we're eating around in different places, visiting friends, family, just keeping our heads low and enjoying our lives, you know? So Generation Z, take an example from Generation X. Live your life, and the next time someone gives you a comment, give them a look. And if you're Nigerian, you know what to do. Eye them, you know, snap your eyes at them, and then they'll go on the road, you know, or ignore them. It takes too much energy to answer such foolish people anyway. So until next time, I'll see you again, okay? Later. Have a lovely day. Bye for now. Love you all. Peace. Mwah.